Hey, everybody, welcome. This is your show. This is Dr. Levi with the Dr. Levi Show. Today is June 29th, 2016, here in beautiful Los Angeles. So I hope and believe wherever you are today, you're making it a great day. Remember, the universe is conspiring for your greater good. All that's happening in your life is for your good. Your challenges, the good, the bad, and even the ugly. It's all about making you a better person. So I want to remember and let you know that everything is again working for your greater good. It's beautiful here in Los Angeles today. It's about 88 degrees here in the valley. I love LA, and I got to say LA really loves me back. It's just a great place. A lot happened in the news today. Last night, Pat Summitt died. She is considered the most winning coach in the NCAA Division I history. She won 8 championships. She won over 1,098 games. 38 seasons. Just a phenomenal record for someone who was an amazing woman. So Pat Summitt, we wish you the best. We know that heaven's going to open its arms to embrace you, and she'll be really missed. She died of early onset dementia, which started in her 50s, and now she's gone. So it's really amazing how someone who can be so vibrant, so wonderful, so spectacular, and then like that, they're taken away from us. And of course, we send out our heartfelt condolences for the people in Turkey, those who lost their families, their friends, their family members. It's just unbelievable that almost every week now, we're talking about something horrific happening in the world. From the formidable challenges and craziness in Orlando with all those people being slaughtered to now Turkey. It's really unbelievable what other human beings do to other human beings. So I just want to put out a personal, I guess I could say it's a personal challenge for everyone to be more compassionate, to be more loving, to be more kind, to be more accepting, to be less judgmental, and know that no matter what someone's race, their creed, their sex, their sexuality, their gender identity, it's not your business. What is your business, of course, is to love and respect other people and to treat everybody the way you want to be respected. It's really not that difficult if you think about it. The golden rule really applies to everything, and it's just not very difficult. So as you make your choices in life, as you make these decisions that will always have consequences, know that it's always good to stay in the light. It's always good to stay in that place of knowing that what you're doing is for the greater good of other people. Because really, as human beings, why are we here? We're here for the highest order of humanity. And what is that order? It's to be of service to other human beings. That's what it's about. It's not about what you get. Getting money, as I've said before on the show, as my dad taught me, all money's not good money. It can't be about the money. It has to be about the service. It has to be about what you're giving back to your community, what you're giving back to your family. Are you loving? Are you kind? Are you speaking to your neighbors? Do you walk past people like they don't exist? Do you think you're better than other people? Trust me, you can be humbled in a day. As my mother told me, I love these words. She told me this many years ago, and I said I was going to go to medical school. She said, "Oh, Levi, that's great, son." She said, "I love hearing that." She said, "I want you to remember 2 things. One, since you say you love me so much, imagine my face on every patient that you treat and treat them with the same amount of love." And she said, "Secondly, son, and most importantly, remember, you can be the doctor today," and then she snapped her fingers, and she said, "the patient tomorrow. So be careful, son, how you treat everybody." So I live that way. So I'm asking you to think about that too. I'm asking you to think about living in a place of joy, living in a place of gratitude, living in a place of knowingness that your life is about giving back, not simply about getting, that you're here for a great purpose. And number one, I think the rule of all rules, number one is that you are worthy. You matter. Your life matters. What you give to the world matters. So I'm happy to have you with the show today. Lots to talk about. We have a phenomenal guest on today, so I'm going to bring her on shortly. Also, before I bring her on, she's a phenomenal woman, too, so I have a lot to tell you about her. I want to talk about another phenomenal woman. I want to make a prediction this year, which I never do. We have a woman who's going to be in the Olympics this year in Rio. Her name is Clarissa Shields. So I want you to hear this. She's a boxer. And I believe that she's definitely going to win a gold medal this year. And she'll be the first Olympic boxer in history to win 2 gold medals. And I believe that is going to happen. She is phenomenal. She is what I call a true, she epitomizes what an athlete is. You know, as an athlete myself, it's all about doing the things that are not seen in the light. You know, as an athlete, people think, well, you just go to a game and you compete. Well, guess what? There's a lot of backstory about that. You have to train. You have to watch your diet. You have to be focused. You have to be very mindful about what you're doing. And she epitomizes that. So Clarissa Shields from the Dr. Levi Show, go and get them. The other prediction I'm going to make is that the women's gymnastics team, I'm believing that they're going to bring back the gold also. The men's gymnastics team, I'm agreeing and believing that they're going to bring home the gold medal also. So a lot to say. I mean, I wish I could go to the Rio Olympics this year, but just too much on the plate right now. But, you know, another time, of course. Well, this is Dr. Levi with your show, The Dr. Levi Show, the show that reminds you that you are worthy, the show about educating you, about giving you great strategies for life, and about uplifting you and inspiring you to achieve your dreams. That's what this show is about. When it comes to dreams, dream makers, and someone who really epitomizes what it is to make your dreams come true, who else could I be talking about but this phenomenal guest that we have on today is Ruby Polanco. She epitomizes what it is to be someone who says, hey, you know what? I have an idea. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to go forth. I'm going to do it. I'm going to knock on doors. I'm going to do what I need to do to make a difference in my community. She's a community leader. She's an entrepreneur. She has been featured in multiple magazines from Tightrope to Inc. Incorporated to Latina LA. Multiple media have looked at her because she is phenomenal. So I want to welcome to the show Ruby Polanco. How you doing, young lady?
I am doing great. Thank you for having me in your show.
Oh, absolutely. It's a privilege and an honor. You know, I have to tell everyone before we get started how I met you. I met you at an event for you and my good friend who works with Oprah, Derek Rutledge. And you guys had this phenomenal event in Hollywood that was just really amazing. And I was there with you and Derek and all these other really great people. So that was a great event.
It was an amazing event. I had such a great time that night.
Did you really? And
Yeah.
you look phenomenal then as you do now.
Thank you. And I met amazing people like you.
Oh,
it was
thank
so
you.
great to connect with you.
Well, you know, I think as I say so often, the light attracts the light. I think good people attract good people. And I think when we meet people who inspire us to be better, we meet people who inspire us to continue to be good human beings and to reach for our dreams, we want to have them around. And you're one of those people.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you again for being on our show. Now, let's talk about Ruby Polanco, not just the great entrepreneur that you are, not just the phenomenal mother and woman that you are. I want to talk about Ruby Polanco, the little girl. I want to talk about the little Latina who came up growing up. I want to hear about who and what inspired you to do what you do today.
Where can I start? I have always been that little kid that was so curious about life
Yes.
and everything. I always wanted to know, how did it happen?
Yes.
Who did it? Why do you have this? Why is it that this is so big? And how can I be part of it?
Yes.
Since I was very little. Okay. And I think that was one of my main drives to be where I'm at right now, is the fact that I was so curious
Yes.
about life, about love, about my community, about everything that I did.
Yes.
I was just born with that, I guess. That curiosity.
You definitely exude this passion for life. You know, the French would say is vraiment le joie de vivre. You know, that you exude this really true, profound, authentic appreciation for life. You really do.
And I do have that. I just love life. I love to travel and look at a city with a different set of eyes, you know, when I go visit somewhere.
Yes.
It's how I inspire myself to do more, to be better. And that's how I keep going, you know, just by inspiring myself by what I see everywhere, especially by my community, you know. We're a big community here in California.
Absolutely.
I mean, in the United States,
Absolutely.
you know. And for me, it was like, I always wonder, why is it that we are here in this space, but we're not expanding, we're not growing?
Right.
How come I see these other cultures growing and taking over the
prospering.
world. And exactly,
Yes.
I always say taking over the world.
Yes.
You know,
I love that statement. I love it.
I love it. It's my mantra, I guess.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
taking over the
I'm
world
with you.
every
I'm
morning.
with you. I'm with you.
Every morning. And so, but in my community, I saw a lot of hardworking people
Yes.
working every day, showing up every day, starting their own businesses, but just right there.
Yes.
And they never expanded, they never grew, they never had the prosperity that I saw in other people.
Yes.
So when I came to this country, I came to South Central LA.
Yes.
And because the schools were so overpopulated, I was bused to Milliken in Sherman Oaks,
Yes.
right? So for me, I think that was the best thing that ever happened in my life, because I went from living in South Central LA in a very poor neighborhood
Yes.
to experiencing this new community where everybody, I mean, life was different there.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
There was money. There was life was better. It was good.
Yes.
I can't even explain it.
Yes.
As a 12-year-old, it was almost like going into a Disney movie where I was experiencing something with color and
Yes.
beauty.
Yes.
And then I will come back to my community, and it was, a lot of work and
Yes.
hustle and
Yes.
and not what I could see in that other community. And
Yes.
that helped me a lot, because after that, after spending a couple of years going back and forth to the valley,
Yes.
I was like, there's more.
Yes,
I
there
want
is.
more.
Yes, there is.
I
You
need
deserve more.
I deserve more.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and as a young woman, I was just a big dreamer.
Yes.
I had no boundaries at that time,
Right. You still don't.
I still don't. I
Right.
still don't. That's very true.
Let's talk about. I want to talk about your life as a child, but I just briefly want to let everyone know that you have one of these most amazing and again extraordinarily growing population of students that you train in your beauty academies.
Yes.
Your beauty academy. Let's talk about that also. I want to hear about what inspired you to actually do that, because that's a very, very, very tough area.
It is.
Because many people will pop up in that area, but they won't stay. And you've had longevity, and you've had great success, but more importantly, you've had sustained, expanding success, which is phenomenal.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, we have been growing since I started the school.
And the name of the school is Ruby's?
Ruby Makeup Academy.
Yes.
Yeah. And we pretty much, we're now in our 11th year, and we keep growing and growing.
We have
and
4
growing.
locations
Four
right now
locations
in
now,
LA.
and we graduate over 1,200 students a year. And the dream, the idea of this business happened when I started my own cosmetic line.
Yes.
And at that time, there was only a few cosmetic stores that were tailoring their products to ethnic women.
Yes.
One in particular, right?
Yes.
And so I wanted to have something for
People that look like you.
people that look like me.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and I don't, and you said it right. I usually say a Latina, right? A Hispanic woman, but it's for people that look like me.
Right.
The brown hair, the brown
Yes,
eyes,
yes.
yellow skin,
Yes.
undertones, and all
Yes.
that. And so I wanted that. And so I started with that. But at the same time, the real estate market crashed. And as good as I did with that business, I was sinking.
Yes.
But as I was promoting my product, my line, and selling that line, I saw a need for people. They wanted to learn more. They wanted to know more about makeup
Right.
and what I was doing. And they just loved makeup, but they also wanted to know more about it.
Right.
And no one was educating women at that time
Yes.
on makeup. I
Yes.
mean, now it's a huge boom.
It's a big market.
It's bigger than the real estate market
that
10
right.
years ago.
Of
Let me
course.
tell you, the book is huge.
Right.
And so so I was one of the first few people that started educating women in makeup.
Yes.
But my passion was not teaching women how to wear makeup. My passion was teaching women how to be part of a community.
Yes.
How to be part of something bigger.
Yes.
Creating a support system. And I think that has been a key to my success, that is always about the community,
Yes.
helping young women believe in themselves, helping young women to believe that they can do anything.
Right.
Because me, as a poor kid from South Central LA, and they came from another country, okay?
Right.
I didn't have that. No one told me I could dream big. No one told me I could be anything.
Yes.
I was only going to do one thing and one thing only. I was going to work hard,
Yes.
probably be a mom,
Yes.
work as a housekeeper or work
Yes.
at a restaurant. And so when I learned that that was not it for me, that I could do more, then as I'm starting this new business, I'm like, I can teach young women to be all that.
Yes.
And, I think it's one of the things that helps my business every year to do more and to be better, because we grow the company by a lot every year.
Yes, you do.
And it's all because of my community. Right. My community supports my system because I know I'm their support system.
Absolutely. So it's great to hear that it's really about synchronicity, that you're supporting them, but they're also supporting you. And I also think I love the fact that you're really about going back to, as you go up the ladder, you're not just going back and stepping on the hands that are coming up behind you. You're reaching your hands back to pull up everyone to help do what you do.
It's the best way to grow. When you help people grow with you, you grow with them.
You do.
I mean, they're like your elevator that takes you to the top.
Absolutely.
So.
And I also think as we give back to others, more is given unto us.
Yes.
It's not simply about what can I take, what can I get, what can I get. It's about, as my grandmother would say, keep your hands open, because the more you're giving, the universe will fill it with even more than you can begin to take as a blessing.
I live my life with that in mind. For me, every day is, how can I do more for you?
Absolutely.
How can I give more to my community?
Yes.
And from my employees, my family, to my community is, how can I do more for them today?
Right.
And like you said, life pays me back.
Oh,
yeah.
In
a whole nother level, you know?
Yes. Definitely.
Thank you.
I want to hear about your childhood. I want to know about, what were your parents like, your brothers and sisters? Was it a home that was filled with love, or was it a home like my home, with the alcoholic dad who beat the hell out of my mom, with the drug-addicted father that would beat me and my mom? Was it filled with a dad who, like my dad, would punch the hell out of me if I said the wrong thing, if I didn't turn the TV on the way he wanted, if I didn't go to my room when he said it, if I didn't do what he wanted? Was it, my environment was one of control, of abuse, of intensity, of mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. It was a very, very tough childhood. But I'm grateful for it, because when I look back, the great thing about those challenges, they make us better human beings. They make us more loving. It gives us a chance to, I think, do we either become the abuser again, or do we say, you know what, okay, I was abused. Let me stop that cycle. Let me be more loving, more kind. Let me stop the abuse. So let's hear about your home.
Ooh, okay. Just like you, I had not a typical family.
Yes.
There was not a father in my family.
Yes.
I had the most amazing grandmother that raised me like the princess that I could only dream of, right?
Yes,
she made me a princess. And then I had a mother that, we were two brothers and myself. And my mom was a single mom, so she worked very hard every day. And she was always tired, and she never had time for me or for my brothers, because she had to work 2-3 jobs.
Yes.
And so I was actually raised by my grandmother. I had the best grandfather, too. He adored me, and my grandmother took care of me. And a lot of what I do and who I am now is because of my grandmother.
Yes.
I adore my mother. Because without her, God knows, right? She took care of us the best way that she knew how.
Yes.
But I did have the alcoholic uncle that beat us up every day because he was there with us. And
I call them drunkles.
Drunkles, yes.
Drunkles.
I love that.
Yes, I call them drunkles.
That's a good name. Oh my God,
that's what I call them.
I'm going to take that with me.
You can use it. You can use it. It's a Dr. Levi original.
Yes,
you can use
I
it.
have a drunkle.
Yep, I had several.
I had one in particular.
Yes.
I had one in particular. At the end, he died of AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
He beat up his wife, his kids, and he beat us up. And, I remember by the age of 12 just saying enough is enough.
Yes.
And one day he's trying to beat me up, and I grabbed this rock.
Yeah.
And this is in Honduras before I came here.
Yes.
And I grabbed this rock, and I threw it at him, and I said, never. You're never going to touch me again.
That was it.
Right. That was it.
Yes.
After that, I just run every time I saw I was like, he's never going to touch me again.
But you were clear about that.
I was very clear. He was never going to touch me again. And so I just run and run and run every time he will try to touch me. Right.
Yes.
So eventually, I don't know, at the end of that year, I think I came to this country. I'm like, wow, a new beginning, right? Well, guess what?
He came?
2 years later, he came to he was chasing me. My drunko was chasing me.
Oh, your drunko was chasing you.
He was chasing me all the way to the United States.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought I was free.
Right.
And it didn't. So he tried that, he tried that here. And I was like, no, enough is enough, you know. And so I came to this country to a mother that was working 2-3 jobs every day. And it was me and my brothers, and we had to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
And of course, you're in South Central LA.
Yes.
We didn't have parks. I mean, if there were parks, we were not going to go there, right?
Right.
And so we had to entertain ourselves, and we had to then eventually, you get close to the gangs, and
Yes.
I was part of that. And,
Yes.
and I mean,
That was about survival, though. How could you not be? If you wanted to live and be able to walk to where you need to walk and get home safely, you had to be a part of that.
Yeah.
It's part of the environment.
And I had been trained already by my drunkos. So
Right. So you knew how to fight.
I knew how to fight, okay?
Right.
I mean, and I had tolerated pain already, so I was tough on the streets.
Yes.
Okay? I could handle it, right?
Yes.
But, and I hate to say this, typical young teenager in South Central LA. I got pregnant by the time I was 16, I met my first boyfriend ever, and I fell in love with him. And by the time I was 16, I got pregnant. So my mom made me marry this guy.
Yes.
Well, guess what? I married another abuser. This guy, yeah. So by the time I was 17, I was with a newborn in a relationship with a man who used to beat me up every day.
Tough.
Yeah. And so I have my fair share of abusers in my life, But one thing I did is I was never that person to turn any tragedy in my life into, oh, I'm a victim now.
You're not a victimhood person.
I'm not.
No,
I was like, oh, that taught me something good.
Right.
I'm going to take that and make it, my own experience and be
better.
Strong, better.
Yes.
And I will never let myself be in that situation again.
Right.
And so I always learn from those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Now I want to hear about your mom and your family. What do they think about your success? Because your success continues to expand. Your star continues to shine brighter and brighter. It's really one of America's beauty icons.
Thank you.
You continue to do amazing work.
Thank you. I have a very small family here in LA, but they're so proud of me. Right. It's funny because when my mom started noticing that I was growing this big and I had this little bit of fame, I guess, in my community. She doesn't do that anymore, but she used to come with a camera and take pictures of the pictures on the wall.
Was she really?
Yeah, she would do that, and she was just
proud of
all
you.
my awards and all the stuff that I have done, and so she is my number one fan.
Fantastic.
My son also, oh my God,
really?
Great supporter. And then my family, they admire me.
Of course.
I think the rest of my family, they're still in shock.
Yes.
They can't believe that happened to one of us.
Right. That it was able to occur.
Yeah. They still see me like I'm an alien. Like wait, are you real? Because this doesn't happen to normal people. Right. And so I see that when I go to family reunions, they look at me like I'm not that person.
Part of them.
I'm not the person that grew up with them. I'm not the same person, except for my mother and my son. That they're like my best supporters. The rest of my family, they're still in like, wow, is that real?
Right.
Did it happen to you?
Yes.
And so I mean, I have great support from my mother and my son.
That's fantastic. How does it make you feel? Because I want to share with you my experience with my family, but I want to know, how does it make you feel when you're around family members who something that I hear often is that, oh, you've changed. Oh, you're different. Well, yeah, I'm different. I want to change. I want to be better than I was. I want to be better than that poor black kid that came from this cockroach-infested, rat-infested house where we lived. I want to be better than the guy that grew up with rats jumping in his bed and jump up and pop him off the bed. I want to be better. But my family, so many of them now when I see them or talk to them, they say, oh, well, Levi, I guess I can't talk to you because you think you're better than us. I've never thought I was better than anyone. I just think I'm a child of God that's here to do a job, to be of service. So I look at my family, some of my friends who I'm no longer friends with now, whom I loved, that I haven't changed in a bad way. I've changed to grow to be a better man. And I think sometimes when people see us grow and that they're still where they are, they think that we think we're better than and that they're less than. I want to hear your take on that.
Well, actually, with me, my family, they still can't relate to me
Yes.
at all. So they can't even come up to me and say you're different or
Right.
you changed, because they're still like can't even get
Shocked.
close. Yeah, they're still in shock.
Have you found that to be with respect to some sort of mild abandonment, kind of like push you aside and see you at funerals and
Right.
baptisms and christenings and quinceañeras and parties, but then for like just a call on the phone or how you doing, Ruby?
I never get a call from
I
them.
know that feeling.
I show up to parties, birthday parties, or funerals, like you
Yes.
said, and they see me like, I don't know, like Janet Jackson
Outsider.
just walked in or something.
Exactly.
Like I'm a celebrity.
Right,
and
right.
and it's funny because I just want to love them.
Yeah, 'cause
and
you're
and I'm
family.
like, I'm Ruby.
Right,
I'm
same
still
Ruby
the
that
same
was there.
girl.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm
Right,
still
right.
that kid,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
With my fancy clothes and my
Yes.
fancy makeup and my
Right.
fancy car.
You're still
that
Ruby.
Is still the girl from the hood.
Yes.
They used to get her
Yes.
little behind kicks
Exactly.
every day, you know?
Exactly.
And so it's actually sad when I'm with my family
Yeah.
and I cannot have a laugh with them and
I
I
know
cannot
that.
just hang out with them.
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, hi, like with that
Yeah.
distance,
You're
you
right.
know?
Right.
My friends, though, on the other hand, the people that I grew up with, they did that to me years ago.
Yes.
Before I even got to this level, just the fact that I went to school, that I graduated,
Yes.
that I had a better job.
And don't forget, you were doing this as a single mom.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. And so they thought I was too good for them. Then I marry white, and so they thought, you know,
she really thinks she's better than us.
Yeah, she's better than us. Oh, now you have someone that takes care of you. I was like, wait, no, honey. So, you know, so it was all that. It was they would take credit from me. You know, they would take the credit of me working very hard with my little one next to me every day, showing up to school. And the times that I couldn't take my son to school or to a babysitter, I took my kid to school with me. We walked into the classroom, and I used to get in trouble with my teachers.
So you have
and
to
so
do it.
they took all that from me by saying, "Oh, you marry white. Oh, someone is buying you that car. Oh, someone is giving you that."
They didn't understand they didn't understand the hard work and the sacrifice behind everything that you were achieving. They didn't understand it.
I marry a partner that
You didn't marry
better
white.
my life.
You didn't marry white. You married love.
I married love.
Right,
I
right,
married
right. There was no
someone who
color.
made me a better person.
Absolutely.
But they thought I married someone to support me.
no,
that
that
I was
wasn't
this trophy wife, and
No.
I was like, honey,
No.
no. I work 24/7.
Right, exactly.
The only time I stop is
Right.
to make my son a sandwich and
Period.
give him a glass of
And
milk.
you keep pushing.
And I keep pushing.
Absolutely.
You know, and so about 15 years ago, I literally had to let go of all my friends.
Yeah, I know
Because
that
they
feeling.
were always, you know, bothered by my
And bringing you
success.
down.
Yeah, and
Yes.
bringing me down.
Yes.
My family still can't relate to
Right.
where I'm at right
Right.
now, you know.
Right.
And it's sad for me because I miss the hugs and
Oh,
the
yes.
love
Oh,
and
yes.
just that the
yes.
conversation with your cousins, you
yes,
know, and
yes.
goofing around and all
Yes,
that.
yes.
You don't get that anymore
all.
because
Not at
they go, oh yes, almost like, hi, Mrs. Polanco.
Right.
They don't say that, but that's how they act.
Right. They don't give you, oh, hey, Ruby, good to see
Yeah,
you.
like a
It's
hug with
no,
love.
No.
You know, I was just with my family a few weeks ago.
Yes.
My brother had an accident, and I saw one of my uncles that I haven't seen in a long time, and I go, Tio, uncle, you
Right,
know, and I
right.
ran to him and I hugged him, and he was stiff,
Just rigid
and he
like a
looked
board.
at me,
Right.
and I go, it's me,
Ruby.
He goes, oh, hi, and I was
Right.
like awkward.
Oh my gosh.
And then I go to my mom and I go, Mom, he couldn't even hug me. Embrace me. He
Yeah.
goes, and then so she talked to him, and he goes, I didn't recognize her. I didn't know who she was. I go,
Really?
wow.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and that tells me I have to hang out with my family a little bit more too.
But you know what, though? I love hearing you say that you have to hang out with them more. What I found is that even when I hang out with my family, the parts of my family still accept me, even they don't truly accept me.
Right.
It's still a block of, I think it's like, oh, his success makes him more than us, so
Right.
he doesn't really want it. And I miss that a lot.
Right.
I if anything, I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss my family.
I miss the barbecues
Yes.
and the conversations
yes,
and the
yes.
kids running
Yes.
around. I don't have that anymore,
Yes,
you know?
not at all.
And when I try to have it, it's more awkward. So,
Right.
you know,
It doesn't feel real or authentic.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
the thing I find with family too, and I love my family, is that, at least what I found is that the more I have, the more I want to give them, but the less receptive they are to get it. It's a block there. but I can't do anything about that because I'm not going to go back to what I was because I'm on the up and comings. I'm trying to go further, and I think the more I have, by the grace of God, the more I can give back to them if they want to accept it, or just to my community.
You know what I realized, that the people that really truly love you, they will see that person in you still, regardless at what level you are. Because when I see my mother and my son, and one of my aunts, they still see me as that little girl that loves them. And it doesn't matter what level. And then the other ones, I mean, I just have to accept that, and just keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing in life. Yeah.
Yeah, I still find that so hard, though, with family. That's still rough for me.
Yeah,
I
it
tell
is.
you. But life goes on.
Life goes on.
I got to tell you, there are a lot of people that really love and appreciate you. And there's a little video that we have. I want to surprise you with. I want you to take a look at this.
Oh my God.
Take a look. This is where is that video?
Hi, my name is Carrie Moore, and I attend Ruby's Makeup Academy in Upland, California. I graduate this week, and I'm really excited because I want to actually use all my techniques that I've learned throughout my 3 months being there to my future clients, my family, my friends, everyone that I know. And actually, prior to me coming to this school, I didn't know where I wanted to go with my career. I didn't know anything at all. And now I'm actually ready to get everything started in line, and now I actually have a bright future ahead of me. And then also, I want to thank Ruby for giving me the opportunity to be at your school, and now my future looks bright. Thank you.
Yeah, she was really thanking you and saying how much she appreciates you and that you're really a role model for her.
Oh my
and
God.
That her life and the trajectory of her life has been changed by who you are, and that she looks up at you as a mentor, as a friend, and as someone who's really changed the entire course of her life because of you believing in her and thinking that she was worthy of being a part of your legacy.
Oh my God, I love that. Those are the best moments in my life, when I hear someone saying, you changed my life.
Absolutely.
Or that one conversation or that one kind word,
Yes.
because how many of us wish we could have that, right?
Absolutely.
And so when I hear, oh my God, I love it.
Yes.
Oh my God, thank you. I mean, thank you. That was a
Of course.
surprise.
I think it's wonderful that when we meet and touch people who really feel the impact of what we have to offer.
Yeah.
It makes us feel like our living is not in vain, that we really are here to make a difference in people's lives, and that every day really is a gift.
It is.
It truly is a gift.
It truly is.
So why complain? Why be angry? Why not be more forgiving? Why not?
Why not love, right?
Why not love?
Yeah.
It's just, I love loving. I love being loved also, but it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's easier to be in that place, actually, to be in the place of loving and caring and giving. And it gives you this feeling of being on cloud nine.
Yes,
when you're
yes.
actually, for me, I wake up every morning thinking, how can I love a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Especially because I'm going through a transformation right now in my life.
Yes.
Where I had to step back from like the everyday to-do list, the having to do.
Yes.
And I'm trying to transform my life now. And I do this every few years, because every few years when I feel stuck, I go through that process. And right now I'm in the process where I'm like, what is it that my life is lacking right now? And I felt one was freedom, the other one was love.
Yes.
And so every day the word that I use every day is freedom. And the two words that I use is freedom and love.
Yes.
And that reminds me every day that I have to be free with what I do.
Yes.
And feel more free to love and to give, right? Yes. And then the other one is love. How can I love a little bit more? Even when someone gives me an attitude, or if I'm at a restaurant and the waiter or the waitress is having a bad day, I try to make her his day a little bit better.
Of course.
By saying a kind word.
Yes.
Maybe by adding a little bit more on her tip, right?
Right.
By just saying different little things. And so that's my thing right now, love and freedom. And I'm trying to get to that place where I can have both of them.
Absolutely. You deserve both of them.
Yeah.
It's your birthright.
Because we get caught up on the everyday routine and work and and so right now that's my thing this year,
No, I think it's a great thing to have, because one thing about living as an entrepreneur, as someone who you're invested in your community, you're invested in your family, and more importantly, above all of that, you're invested in you. If you're not healthy, if you're not strong, if you're not feeling loved, if you're not feeling worthy, what do you have to give?
Right.
If your cup is half full, you can't give. You know, you want to give from that place where the cup is running over.
Amen to
and
that.
give from your saucer, you know?
You get to that point where you feel empty.
Yes.
Not halfway full, but completely empty. And
Yes.
that's when you have to really slow down
Yes.
or stop if you're able to and say, what am I missing in my life, you know?
Exactly.
And that's where I'm at right now. It's like, what am I missing in my life? And I'm trying to get more of that.
I love it. You know, I'll share this with you about 3 months ago. Well, actually, it was my birthday. It was on March 19th. I took some time to just be by myself, and I came to this point of thinking that I have so much now, and I'm so grateful. And I just thank God for all that I've been given, because I'm so grateful for that. And then I also came to this realization of, okay, I have it all, thank God. Now, what do I do to give more of it away? And also, who am I?
Yeah.
And what am I? And what am I really here for? I have to really go deep, you know, and take 5 days of silence to really find out what am I about.
Isn't that amazing how we lost ourselves to where
Absolutely.
we actually have to remind ourselves of who am I? What am I
Yes.
here for?
Yes.
What is it that I really, truly want to
Yes.
be, you know?
Yes.
Because we get so busy with
Yes.
the world
Things.
and things and business, work,
Business,
you know,
yes.
everything that we lose ourselves.
We
and we
really
have
do.
to take that time to really think about it.
Right.
You
And
know?
I think if we don't, we really lose ourselves,
Yeah.
especially where we are in California, or mainly in LA. And I love LA, and LA is great to both of us. But it's so fast, it's so push, it's so intense, it's such the grind. The grind is on,
Yeah.
that if you don't step back, you will get caught in those wheels and you get ground up with everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I think we really have to step back and say, okay, wait a second, no, I can't go to that red carpet event. That's nice. I'm grateful for that opportunity. No, I can't do that interview. This is my spa day.
Right.
This is my massage day. This is my day of silence. This is my day of prayer. This is my day of meditation.
Right.
And what I found now is that when I take those days of what I call reconsideration days of who I am, I can't do it with any guilt. I used to do it with guilt, thinking, God, I should be at the office. I should be operating today. I should be volunteering there. I should be giving. I got to really just tone it down.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm working on that because I'm trying to take time off. I'm trying to do things.
Yes.
And I'm still feeling guilty.
Let it go. I'm good about letting it go. I just breathe it away.
I have to.
Yeah,
I
you
have
got
to learn how to do that.
Yeah, breathe. What I do is I take time I meditate every day. I've been doing that for over 20 plus years.
And
I sit there in that silence and I hear the thunderous voice of God telling me everything's going to be okay. Just believe, just have faith, and just be still and remember that you're not in charge, Levi. I'm in charge. I got this covered.
Right.
You know, I put the stars up there.
Yeah.
I did that to the moon. I didn't need your help. So I'm always aware now that for myself personally, that there's a greater unfolding of my life and that God's in charge. No matter how much I think I can do it, he can always do it better.
Right. That is very true. I've been dealing for the last 3 years on letting God manage my life.
Yes.
You know, he has saved my life the last 3 years because I thought I had control of everything and I was in charge of everything. And a few years ago, I realized that I didn't.
No.
And as I'm crying and on my knees, just thinking I'm going to die.
Right.
You know, I just heard that too. Like, let me manage your life.
Yes.
Let it go.
Let
you
it
know,
go.
and I still struggle with that. You know, but every time I go back to my control freak mode, I go, let it go.
Let it go.
God is managing that.
He is.
You know,
He
and
is.
it's amazing how that works so well because God really takes care of you, you know, and it makes things happen. So,
He really, you know, when you said he's managing our lives, it made me think of one of my good friends. Whenever I say God has it covered, my friend, she always says, oh, yes, she does.
oh, God, I love
Yeah,
that.
she always told me that. She said,
I like that.
yeah, she has it covered. I said, I believe that.
I like
so
that.
I do think it's important for us to really go to that place what I call surrender. In the morning when I wake up and do my own spiritual upkeep, I call it, I go to that place of surrender knowing that no matter how blessed I think I'm going to be today, that I live in this place what I call ME, miraculous expectation, knowing that no matter how great I think it's going to be 100 times better.
Right.
No matter how wonderful my manager is, and no matter what she's doing, I know she's going to do something 1,000 times better for me. So just like, you know, your PR guy, Mr. Keith Underwood, I'm sure the great work that he does, believe and know that what he's doing will be even better. because
Right.
he has you covered.
Yes.
Because God has them covered.
Right.
You know,
Very
so
true.
I think when we're in a place of my four favorite words are surrender, gratitude, intention, and freedom. I love those because I think when we're there, nothing to worry about, just
I
nothing.
love it. I, I I'm learning so much from you.
Oh, thank you, Ruby.
Or I'm being I'm being reminded I'm being reminded of everything that I try to remember every day.
Right.
I mean, like when you started your story with your mother right before you went to medical school.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, I'm gonna take that for life.
was
When she
powerful.
said, remember today you're the doctor, and just like that,
To be the
you
patient.
can be. Oh my God,
Oh,
I will
yes.
take that for
Oh,
with me
yes.
for life. It's
Oh,
it's
yes.
something. Wisdom word, the words of wisdom.
Yes.
I was like, wow, that was powerful for me today.
Yes.
I just love that. So, anyways, thank you for
Oh, of
inspiring me
course.
all over again.
Of course.
I love it. I love
Oh,
it. This is great.
Well, trust me, you're very much inspiring me,
Thank
because
you.
I think having you here today, you will inspire other people, men and women, Latina and non-Latina, to know that you can achieve what you want, but you have to have a dream, you have to have a strategy, you have to have focus, and then you have to do the work. You can't simply say, okay, I want to win the lottery and not buy a ticket. You can't say I want to be a great entrepreneur and not get out there and do the work and knock on some doors and say, hey, I need investors, or hey, can someone just believe in me to give me a push to do what I want to do? And if no one pushes you, push yourself.
Yeah.
My grandmother would always say, and I miss her so much, and she was such a powerful woman. She'd always say, when it comes to living and doing, Levi, she said, remember, son, only the strong survive. And don't expect anyone to do for you. Expect yourself to do for yourself.
Right.
And when she said that when I was a kid, I would think, oh, here she goes again. But now, at 35 plus, oh, I get it.
You get it, yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Don't expect anybody to do anything for us. But if you do it for yourself, the expectation's already been met.
Very true.
It really, really is true. Something my dad would say I want to share with you that I always loved. He would always say that you will never be disappointed if you have no expectations of other people, which I've always loved. Because again, if we expect other people to do for us, they're never going to go to the level that we want. It's like working in business. Both of us know this. When it comes to business, no one's going to work as hard in our business as we do. They're not invested. They're going to work. They're going to say they like us. They're going to like the bonus money, which is great. And we love the people we work with. Like my office manager, Jessica, is phenomenal. Yeah. I trust her with my right and left hand, and I love and appreciate her. But I'm also aware that when it comes to business, I have to make the business work. I have to be there. She and I talk about a lot of things, like my business manager, Janet. We talk about a lot, but in the end, I have to also make it happen. I have to be there. The talent has to show up, And it's like you work with Mr. Keith Underwood, phenomenal PR guy, great person, phenomenal human being, amazing, great work ethic, honest, authentic, just good human being. As wonderful as he is, you have to show up. When he gets the gig for you, you got to be on and popping.
I have to tell him what I want. Because
Exactly.
even though he gets all this from me, but also I know my needs.
Yes.
And once I give him that, he runs with it.
Absolutely.
And then at the end, like you said, I have to show up
we have
and
to
still
show up.
do the work.
Got to do the work.
Because he
gotta
can't.
Be beautiful.
Can't do it for me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. One thing about this area that we've chosen, the media, you have to be on every day. One of my I was thinking about her the other day, Shirley Harris Wagner. She was my one of my first speech coaches. And she told me one day I was at a Whole Foods, at a place called Mrs. Gooch's. And I was there and I had on a raggedy T-shirt and I had on a hat that was torn up, pulled to the side, looking pretty gangster. Ripped up jeans. I was looking torn up.
Got the visual.
Exactly, right. I was looking torn up. So she saw me and she said, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, later I got a little interview that I'm doing and I have an audition that I'm going to." And she said, "When?" I said, "Today." She said, "Like that?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Come here, boy." So we get out the store and she said, "Levi." And I'm going to show you how she did it. She said, "You're in L.A. You want to be in media, right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I want to be a force in me to be reckoned with." She said, "Well, great." She said, "It's good to see you." She said, "In L.A., when you walk out the door, you have to say one thing. showtime. She said, you got to walk out and be on. You can't come looking like you looking right now. So I went back home. I changed clothes and I got the gig.
Nice.
So it's really about knowing that in this profession, you really do have to be on if you want it bad enough.
Yeah. I deal with a lot of young women and they'll come to me and like, how did you make it? How did you get more people to buy your product, your classes, right? And at the end of the day is you show up and you show up like you're getting paid $1 million
every day.
And guess what? Eventually you do get the $1 million job.
You get it.
Eventually you get the sales.
Yes,
you
you
get that takes you to that level. But you show up, and I said, and every day is just practice for when you're ready to get that $1 million job. But this new generation, they go, okay, I'll do that. But they think that I have a magic word, a magic wand, right. Something they're just gonna like give it to them.
Wake up like that.
And I said, no, honey.
No one gave it to you.
No one gave it to me.
Right.
I show up every day, and let me tell you, the times that I got something, something was handed to me, I didn't keep it.
Absolutely.
It wasn't good enough for me.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And so,
as you said that, it made me think of this. I always think these things my family says. My dad would always say is that if it's free, if someone gives you something for free, Levi, it has no value. Yeah. If you give your talents away for free, they will not value you. Yeah. So I've really learned now that we have to do what you said so elegantly, is we have to do the work. You have to show up. Okay.
I didn't have a father in my life, but I had a pit bull that says, ask for money, get money once. Ask for advice, get money twice. I preach that every day.
You're using that.
That is so good. That is so good.
So Pitbull is always in my ear.
We love Pitbull. We love him.
We love Pitbull.
We're having the time of our life.
I don't listen to everything he says, but that one
That's
part
a good one.
is a good one that I keep with me.
Oh my God, Ruby. Let me tell you, there are no words for that. Let me tell you, if you were here with us right now, everybody in the studio is laughing. It's about 120 degrees in here right now. Because Ruby is on fire. Oh my God, Ruby. Well, let me tell you though, I love that statement, and he's right on target. Oh my God, that's perfect.
You know what's funny? Pitbull, a boy from the hood too.
Yes, absolutely.
He has really good advice.
Yes, he does. Because he knows. When we come from when we come from struggle, the great thing about struggle is you don't want to repeat it again. Yeah. You don't want to go back to it. Yeah. It's like we don't want to live with the roaches and the cockroaches and the rats. It's like enough already. Thanks for the experience, but I'll move on.
Yeah, when you share that, it's like we were in the same building. We used to live in.
Oh yeah.
I remember the. Oh my God.
I remember that.
I talk about it. I have talked about it a few times in my life.
Yes.
Because
it's real.
It's real.
Yes.
And people think it's funny or it's a joke. But it's real.
It wasn't funny then. It's a little funny now, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But when we were living in it, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was really
I used to have
tough.
this little mouse that used to come. I used to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
And I used to see it every night, come
Run
across,
across.
and it will stand in front of me and stare, and I will panic.
Right, because
and I will go under the blankets and then peek through the blankets, and I was like, okay, he's gone. Okay. Yeah. I was only 13, 14, and I remember sleeping on the floor, and it was a white little mouse, and it was the cutest thing, but it was the scariest thing.
It was the scariest thing.
I was like, oh my God, this thing is going to bite me. This thing is going to...
Well, I got to tell you, Ruby, it was a blast having you on the show. I want to thank you. I want to thank your PR guy, Mr. Keith Underwood, phenomenal human being he is. And I just want to wish you the greatest of success.
Thank you.
Because I know the Ruby Makeup Academy, specializing in airbrush products, beauty products, application of personal makeup,
effects,
everything. I want to tell everyone, please reach out to Ruby if you want a phenomenal speaker, if you want her featured in anything. She is just a phenomenal woman, a great, great person. And I just want to thank you again, Ruby, for being here. What's your Instagram, Facebook? How can people reach out to you?
Yes, my Facebook is Ruby Polanco. And then if you go to Instagram, is makeup_by_Ruby.
Fantastic. Well, Ruby is just the best. I want to thank her again. I want to thank my team, Janet and Jarvis and Tony and Nicholas, and of course our producer who does everything remotely with us, Adele Starr Hodge, who's really phenomenal also. So again, it's great to be a part of the team here. Again, I want to remind you to be kind to the veterans, take care of little children, because we have to be their protection. And remember, the veterans, those men and women who sacrifice so much, we have our sustained freedoms for them. So be kind to them, be loving to them, and be kind to your neighbors. This is Dr. Levi. Remember, every day is a gift. Remember that you are worthy. Bye. See you next week.